Let's move on to agenda item 3, our superintendent's report. Superintendent Dixon.
Okay. Go up here, if that's all right. Is that okay? So I thought I would take personal privilege because what are you going to do, fire me if you don't like this idea? When I started in this role in 2016, Spencer Stokes was on the Board of Education and was one of 15 members who hired me. And
that's why she's doing this. You'll have to have 14 more of these presentations before.
That's not what this is about, but I wanted to make that note. So I was a deputy before that, and Member Stokes was a board member from 2014 to 2018. So when he came in about 2015, we were standing out in the hallway out here, and I had really lamented that I felt like I worked in a building that you wouldn't know that we were about children. It was just very, Carol will remember this, Member Lair will remember, it was just so stark and very businesslike and dark and a lot of blue walls, and it felt very hospital-esque, and well, I won't go there, but I was lamenting. We were lamenting together, and unbeknownst to me, Member Stokes was, he has always been instrumental in bringing art, specifically Utah art, to every office that he touches. So when he was chief of staff in Washington, D.C. for a senator, he brought Utah art into the office, and I was recently in March in the offices of our congressional delegation, and I saw his touch in their offices as well. And even Congresswoman Malloy said, oh, I received these from Spencer Stokes. So back in 2015, 2016, when we were talking about it, we were brainstorming on a way to bring student art in. And Member Stokes at the time concocted the idea of let's work with the Springfield Art Museum and see if we could work with their statewide student art contest and bring student art in. And so he went to board leadership at the time, and I'm sure you could tell this story better than I can, but went to board leadership, and they agreed that it would be a really good use of board funds to populate our office with student art. So our very boring, stark walls, I think it didn't take much to get them painted. We found out we had money from the state government that we could get some painting and clean up a bit, but then to populate these walls with student art really was the brainchild of Spencer Stokes as a board member. And so I wanted to honor him today because this is, my last time to be able to honor these students. And I would be so remiss if I didn't honor the person who made it happen as a board member all those years ago. So I wanted to bring Spencer, and we had a chance to tour the building and see art throughout the building and some upgrades. So yeah, so I don't know if you want to just take a minute, but I just wanted to honor Spencer Stokes with a round of applause and acknowledge him before you for his work.
Thank you. It's very, very kind. I grew up in a home where my mother was a budding amateur artist, and the thing I found after both my parents have passed away is the things that are fought over the most are the things that are hanging on the wall, because you see them every time you're there, and they mean something to people, and art really is an extension of people's creativity and life, and you see that here, and I'm sure the students will talk about that today. But I'm grateful that you did this, Sid. I appreciate it, and I think Carol, are you the only person remaining on the board that I served with? Was there anybody else?
So sorry to say yes.
Come on, Carol. I mean, I think there would be more love for me than that. But I appreciate all that you do. I say this all the time, the most thankless elected official in America are school board members, because you're doing really hard things with young people, and it just doesn't get the credit it deserves. I once said to Governor Herbert, if you really wanted to impact the state school board, you should veto any bill that the state school board doesn't approve of by a majority vote in public education. That was a chuckle. He got a chuckle out of that. So.
Thank you, Spencer. I also want to punctuate this with Beverly Taylor Sorensen Arts programs. So if you think about, we've had great art programs in our schools throughout the years, but Beverly Taylor Sorensen arts programming now enables so many more students to have opportunities to participate in what you see around us today. So it's not just something that they show up in high school and participate in an art competition, but this is something that is embedded in our schools from the time they start kindergarten. And it's something I'm so very proud of in our state, that we care about the arts, that we care about our students in building the humanities and the arts, and helping them develop as great humanitarians. And art is, to me, the fiber of what it means to be human. So I love their stories as much as I love their art. I love the stories of how the art comes to be. And so my message this morning is really turning this over to our students and having you hear their stories, because their voices matter. And I'm really proud of our teachers who support them, and the programming that gets us to where we are today with this beautiful art that we get the privilege of being a part of each and every day when we show up at this building. So I'll turn my time back to you, Chair Hymas, so we can hear from these amazing students. Do you want me to?
We can, I think we could take it down, but I don't want you to take it down. I'd rather have somebody else lift it down. There's Rod. Look how big he is.
I belong to a wrestling family. My little brother is a state wrestler. So.
Thank you, Member Hall, and Jerry, wherever Jerry went.
Liz Bunker, your K-12 Fine Arts Specialist, and I have the great privilege of overseeing the POPS program. And that is your program. That's a legislatively funded program that USBE manages that is overseeing and supporting the Springville Museum of Art and the Teen Art Contest. So it's also interconnected between BTS, POPS, and this incredible presentation. So thank you so much for the opportunity to address you and introduce our incredible students. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the 53rd All-State High School Art Show. There were 128 entries across the state of the best of, the secondary Utah visual artists. The show selected 327 pieces, and our curation team here, Member Lear, Member Booth, and Member Davis, came to the Springville Art Museum and looked through all 327 pieces and selected this year's 6 pieces to join our permanent collection. I get to add curator to my resume because I oversee the collection. So it's very exciting. We will rotate last year's artwork into the hallway and start to distribute that work throughout the building. So you might see a blank spot on the wall behind me. One of the students from last year asked if her piece could be used in her IB senior art show, which was a very cool thing. So we're even putting works on loan. We're really just becoming a full-fledged gallery here, and I get to play gallerista. So thank you for that, everyone who made this program happen. So themes from this year's collection. Oftentimes, it's really interesting to see board members come to the museum and pick what's resonating with them in the moment. And I don't know if they realize just how eagle-eyed they really are in capturing the moment of what's happening in Utah students, because this work is really a reflection of what's happening right now in the world. Themes from this year's collection of paintings and photographs really resounded in facing internal and external challenges, trusting in things bigger than ourselves, that symbolic letting go, leaving childhood in the past as you come into your own. So I really felt that was the theme that was pulled out of these pieces. So let's hear from the students. That's way more interesting. Our very first student I would like to have come up and present their artwork is Callie Reyes.
Okay. Hello, I'm Callie Reyes. My painting is hanging up over there. And I'm really excited for this opportunity to be here. This was my first time oil painting, and so it was a little bit of an experiment. But just like the meaning behind this was that I wanted this painting to have a lot of symbolism. And hair is said to hold memories, and as it grows, it carries along with you your history. As you see, the figure in the painting is holding scissors up to her hair, debating whether to leave behind the past and initiate new beginnings. In the past year, I had to make a big decision which would affect my future greatly. It was scary and a big change, but I took the risk. Although I'm still figuring things out, I'm glad I bravely took that chance. Symbolically, I cut my hair, I let go of things and embraced change. And funny enough, I think this weekend I'm gonna cut a couple inches off my hair, so.
Wonderful. Thank you, Callie. And Callie, you have some family members here?
Yes.
So we want to make sure and recognize the art educators and the parents and families and everyone that is supporting you. So
Can we have your parents stand?
Yeah.
Wonderful. I will just say, just quickly, when I saw that painting, my first thought was, don't do it. Like it's such a good, realistic, it's an incredible painting. The detail is fantastic. Anyway, great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any comments from board members for Kelly? Okay. Or questions? Yeah. Okay, Member Green.
I just appreciate this. I've been looking at it the entire time. It's the first one I noticed when I came in. My daughter has very long hair too. She wants to cut it, and it's like here. Like, don't do it. So I saw that. I'm like, oh man, everything about today is just reminding me of her. But I had to look at it again to see if it was a photograph. So you've done a beautiful job. It's amazing, and the color contrast with the blue and the yellow is like spot on. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Callie, will you go stand by your painting and we'll take a photograph with you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, while Callie is getting her photo taken, we'll move on to our next artwork. Emery Carpenter. Emery could not be here, so I will read their statement. So this is Utah Girls, acrylic on paper from Pleasant Grove High School. And she said, ever since I've lived in Utah, I've noticed how similar everyone is, especially girls and women. It seems that everyone follows a dress code and aesthetic specific to this area. This makes it hard for people like me to fit in. I use pastel colors for the surrounding girls and a simple design layout to push the Utah aesthetic of neutral minimalism. The figure in the middle, which represents me, contrasts to the light and soft figures because of the sharp black lines. Definitely get up close to that one. Her figure in the middle is detailed and wonderful. Okay, we'll go on to the next piece, and that is Gabe Harper, I believe. All right, Gabe, if you can come join me.
Good morning, you guys. I'd like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to present this. I think art's amazing, and at its core, it's expression of emotions. So being able to have the platform to express emotions is a huge privilege in itself. My piece was 2 a.m., and it's water-based oil on canvas. This was an ambitious piece for me. I started painting at the beginning of this year, so it was my third painting, and then I heard it was for the Springville Art Show. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna go big, and then I went. And the original was 6 feet tall, so I bit off a little bit more than I probably should have chewed. It shows a confrontation between me and something I think was a part of me. In the past 2 years, I've had ambitious goals, abrupt lifestyle changes, and large perspective shifts that haven't proven well for my mental well-being. I have an unbreakable motivation for my future, and I've realized certain emotions won't benefit me, and confrontation is needed in order to move down my hallway. Being inexperienced, the only rational ways to face this problem are with my hands and my intuition. Knowing this, it's going to be an uncomfortable and blunt confrontation, but regardless, it's going to happen.
Thank you. We have Gabe, if it's okay, we have a question or comment from Member Booth.
Of course.
Gabe, we met at the at the museum, had a chance to meet his parents, and you really have to see the original. I'm not kidding. 6 foot tall, huge painting. I mean, I've never, in all the years that I've been to the Springville Art Museum for this high school competition, I have never seen anything that big and that challenging. This is his 3rd painting. And then when I heard the story of the behind the scenes motivation for creating this piece, I was just sold, because we all have those challenges in our lives that we have to face in order to move down that hallway. And I was just so impressed with Gabe being able to articulate through his art that inner turmoil, but that resolve to do what he had to do to move forward with life. And in terms of our concerns about mental health of students, of faculty, of ourselves, if we could just follow the example of Gabe and just face it and move forward in whatever direction our hearts and our minds, I think we'd be in good stead. So I'm so excited that we were able to figure out a way to reduce that 6 foot monster down to a manageable size that'll fit on our walls, and allowing Gabe to also keep that 6 foot amazing piece of art for his future reference, because he may have had a couple of little challenges now, but there's a whole bunch more ahead for all of us. And I just want to pay tribute to Gabe and to his family for the support, his arts educators. This is a talent, and we're going to be seeing more of Gabe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Booth. Yeah, we will recognize parents. If you want to stand quickly, I think they've got phones in front of their faces. Are they recording? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Yeah, they're recording this. Yeah. Keep those phones up. Yeah, I didn't mean to call you out like they're on their phone. No, they are recording this as you should. This is great. We've got Member Lear and then Vice Chair Hart.
And thank you, Randy, for that prompt reminding us, because we looked at this original and we thought, where can we possibly put this in the building? But it was so amazing that we really wanted it somehow, some way. So I guess we have a giclée, is that right? Mm-hmm. Of the...
Yes. Thank you to Springville for creating the giclée, so I didn't have to get a giant moving van.
I know,
to
but
bring the
I am
piece to
so
USB.
appreciative, because all of us just love the size of it, and then there's even the analogy of now it's kind of, we've brought it down to something that we can see and still enjoy. Plus you have your great big challenge with you. And by the way, go Titans, because I'm a alumnus of Olympus High School.
Yeah, the art that we do, I'm thankful, Mr. Stokes, for what you do and what the board has continued. It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes: "Art and music speaks when words fail." And Gabe and Carla, you're just so inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent Dixon.
Gabe, I love you heard my comments about how much I love our student art. It just, it makes me so happy. It doesn't matter what's going on in our world when I walk the halls and see art for all of you. It makes me happy. But I have to say, when I saw your piece, I stopped short this morning. And I had a very emotional reaction to it because I was a high school vice principal. And when I go into a high school today, I still have this habit when I see scuff marks on the hall, I take my foot and try to remove the scuffs. But when I was in those halls, and it might be late at night or early in the morning, and they were empty of students, I would often reflect on what's happening in these halls, what's in the hearts and minds of our students, what's going on in their lives. And every scuff mark to me was a challenge for a student. And it was sort of symbolic for me to take my foot and remove that scuff as a way to think about what can I do to help kiddos while they're here in our school. So your painting for me captured my life as a vice principal in a high school and the things I used to think about when I was in those halls. So thank you for capturing that in a way that I would never have thought of. I'll never look at a scuff mark the same way again. Thank you, Gabe.
All right, Gabe, will you go stand by your painting and we'll get a photo? Thank you so much. Okay, we'll move to the next one. And I don't believe Zoe was able to join us. Oh yeah, no, she's here. Zoe, please come up and join us.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm super grateful. So I'm a senior at Copper Hills High School, and I'm also a student athlete. And so I was really inspired on depicting what it's like for an athlete to be in the zone. I wanted to capture the elements an athlete goes through while being involved in their sport. And through this piece, I wanted to aim to achieve a sense of understanding of what it feels like to be in the zone. And then I did oil on canvas because my AP art teacher really wanted me to try oil painting for the first time. So all of my pieces are oil this year. Yes.
That's awesome.
And Zoe, before we turn over to board members, are your parents, do we have somebody that we can recognize with you?
Yes, my mom's here.
Thank you. Member Lear, it says real on here.
So I'm not so far away. I know you want me
okay,
closer.
Okay. Do you like
I
messing
just wanted
things
to
up?
ask Zoe quickly, who is this that you painted?
This is one of my classmates in my government class.
Okay. Just a friend?
Yeah, just a friend.
Oh, great. I've got my children and my grandchildren. My oldest grandchild is playing D1 soccer in college, and soccer is our life. So I loved this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Kelly, and then over to Member Booth.
In the zone, I like that. I'm just curious, you mentioned you are a student athlete. What sports do you play?
I do track and tennis, and I'm currently committed to West Point to run track.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Congratulations.
I just am amazed that this could be your first oil painting. I mean, can you believe this, folks?
I think
I got
it was
up
actually
close.
my third. Sorry.
It's your third. It's your third. Okay. Well, even so, it blows my mind that an AP teacher can take a student who obviously has a gift, but help them dare to use that gift for something this whole and complete and attention to every necessary detail so that we can be drawn into the zone and drawn into this young athlete and the athletes of representing all of the students in our schools across the state of Utah. I think you've just done a magnificent job, and if this is the third, I can't wait to see the 100th oil painting. And I hope you're just going for it with everything you've got, because you've got something to say, and we want to hear all about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Great job, Zoe. Will you go stand by your painting and we can take a photograph? Awesome. Okay, up next we have Carla Lazareno Villegas. If you'll come join me.
Good morning. Thank you everyone for having me here. My name is Carla, and I'm a senior at West High School. And here's a statement for my piece, The Greatest in the Kingdom. In this piece, I illustrated the passage Matthew 18, verse 1 through 5 from the Holy Bible. Here, Jesus tells us to become like little children, not physically, but in qualities. Young children depend on their parents and have qualities such as faith, trust, honesty, and humility. Children frequently try to mirror their parents' actions when they are learning. God desires this type of relationship with us. And to communicate this message, I depicted a child reaching for God's hand, symbolizing the acceptance of God. I used dark colors, mainly purple, to represent our flesh. This creates contrast against the bright yellow that represents God's light. This piece emphasizes a loving parent-child relationship with God.
Carla, we recognize, do you have family here with you that we can recognize as
Yes,
well?
I have my parents and sibling and my little niece.
Where are they? Will you stand for us? Perfect. There we are. Great. Carla, well done. This should be in homes everywhere. You just print those and put them in homes. The symbolism, first off, the beauty is incredible in my opinion, and the symbolism is just as beautiful. So thank you for your work there. Any questions or comments? Member Booth and then Member Earl.
I just want you to notice that beautiful little face. It just captures one of my granddaughters to a T. The eyes, the little cheeks, the hope, the energy, she's just all in, no matter what it is. And the other day, she fought with her my other grandchildren to say the blessing on the food. And she's 3 years old. And I thought, well, this would be the first time, because she really, I know she prays at home, but she never, in front of all of her older grandchildren, her cousins, wanted to do it. And as she, with that great energy, reached out to her Heavenly Father to say thanks for the meal that Nana had prepared, that little face was just exactly like this face as she reached out to God with such enthusiasm. And I'm just so grateful that you've been able to capture this so beautifully, and the colors just draw you right in. It's like, this is a place I want to be. Thank you. You're a gifted artist, and we look forward to seeing more of your work.
Thank you.
I would echo very similar comments. Just I've looked back up, and fortunately I'm sitting here, right? So every time I look up, I get to see this piece of art. But two things that stand out to me. First of all, the proportions you have with the dark and the light are perfectly aligned. But also just the pull that comes from the dark side, right? The deeper side, and yet the extension, right? And then you see the gentle swirls and stuff extending. And the face, I just like the face. I keep looking up going, oh, you caught that just perfectly, that innocence and that desire to reach somewhere, right? So anyways, well done. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Bogus.
Well, I don't think I can say it much better than that. I too was very deeply impressed with your work. It's beautiful, it's enchanting, it's, that you talked about Matthew 1 through 5, and the scriptures say that blessed are those who believe, but blessed are those who have not seen and believe. And it just is all encompassing, and it's very well done. Thank you for sharing this with us and allowing us to keep it here at the USBE.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Carla, so much. Will you go stand by your piece so we can take a photo?
Thank you.
And our last artwork The artist is not able to join us, and they also did not write a statement. So it is Alston Roach's piece, Clash of the Titans, over here. It's an archival pigment print, so photograph, from Logan High School. So I don't know if one of our curators would like to speak on why they chose this piece or what struck them about this piece.
We have
putting you on the spot.
member Kelly who wants to talk about. He's gonna. Is this the
Perfect.
double or the single? I don't know
Absolutely
what
perfect.
I need some context here.
I mean, I don't know who put the pictures up and placed them in the certain locations, but did you do that on purpose?
I totally planned it.
Yeah, like, and you got this one in front of Emily, right? And I think she can relate to that one really well, and I mean I can relate to this very well. So I appreciate you putting that right there in front of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Earl.
Yeah, and once again, just the lighting on this, right? I mean, that's why it's obviously down there, but the just good lighting, and you I'm sure Cole's thinking, okay, move a little bit more to the left, right? That you can just like the cutting, right? There's an action that's going on, a thought process as you look at it, right? So anyways, I'm grateful that I'll have to reach out to Logan High School in my area and just let him know thank you. So thanks.
Thank you, Member Davis.
Yeah, I hope, gosh, I have a tear in my eye, but my mind is clear, so just I want to put that out there. As we looked at all of this art, these pieces that we chose, just, I don't know, this year felt to me that they captured so much of what our young people experience at this age, from, the big transitions and changes, the spiritual strength that some are seeking, to also, some of the personal battles that our young people feel like they're facing, and or maybe not feeling like you quite fit in, but you're showing up every day. You're showing up, you're doing it. To these kids, just kind of giving it their all in the sports. And Member Kelly, I will say we did pick that one for you. We did, but also because we loved the art, because of the lines and the light and the way that it was done. And I just think that as we all look at all of these pieces all the time, we can remember these kids. I mean, this is why we're here. It's why we come every day. And well, feels like every day, but it's not every day. Some of you come every day. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to all of the artists and to all of our wonderful staff who help make this happen.
I think that concludes our gorgeous collection this year, and I just want to say thank you so much to Superintendent Dixon and Sybil and everyone who makes this show happen. My Pops friends over at the Springville Museum of Art. It's a huge collective lift, and it's one of my happiest days of the year to present this work to you. So thank you so much.
So, board members, we are going to do one more slide, and then we're going to break for about 10 minutes so that students and families can get pictures with their art, and we'll do that. So let's cover this next slide here. We want to recognize Superintendent Dixon here. Yeah. Yeah. So the Utah Education will honor SID today with the Insight Award this afternoon at its annual luncheon and 80th anniversary celebration. That's why we're moving this earlier today, because she has to step away. So anyway, thank you, SID. Let's just. I just wanted to speak to it briefly, and I don't know if you want to say some words, but I don't know what this Insight Award is, but I know what insight means. And I know that groups, organizations, and individuals throughout our state and throughout our country are constantly seeking SID's insight. And what an honor that would be, right? I'm not there, nor do I ever plan to get there. But what an honor when somebody values your insight like that enough to not only call you and invite you to, again, various events throughout the country, maybe even the world, I don't know, but to then hold a recognition for you. Sid has not stopped since the moment I've met her and well before, and up to the very last day that she is employed here at the USBE. She is spending her literal last days providing insight on how Utah is leading the way. She is just a strong example for educators and individuals everywhere, and we appreciate her work, and we're so grateful that she is being recognized at this luncheon today. So thank you, Sid, for that. And as she doesn't want to speak, we will go on break for 10 minutes. Thank you. Families, students, please come, let's get some pictures with your art. We're grateful that you joined us today. Thank you.